friends? What's happening out there in YouTube land? Ta-da! One of those bad boys, Rockin' Dave, the real deal. North Fort Myers, Southwest Florida. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Welcome aboard. Let's see what I got. All right. Jason Wade, what is happening, my friend? I saw Jimmy T. Hey, Rick Ramanali, how you doing, my friend? We got Lefty Mike. I want to make sure because, you know, the type is real small. I think this is a conspiracy. You know, once you hit the double nickel, it doesn't matter if you hit the double nickels and that. It doesn't matter, whatever age. I think they just like to mess with us. That's what I think they do. Okay, guys. I'm sorry about this. Janice Lala, what's happened? Janice, I'm going to be, when I'm done, we got a gig tonight, and I'm going to be taking one of your videos, if you don't mind, and we're going to put in my loop pedal, which will be the audio, and then do Spotlight Your Song, because that's what I'm going to start going back to. Spotlighting all my friends out there, all you guys, all your music at these gigs. I had to get away from it a little bit, because then some of these people say, well, I need you to play some Frank Sinatra, and it's all great. I have a version in my loop pedal, which I will put together with Strangers in the Night and stuff like that, because I understand. We got some older people down here, and they don't understand. So, hey, RGD's Mad One, what's happening, my friend? Thank you again for tuning in. But, you know, I'll tell you what, guys. Anyone that would like for me to you know, have your music played at my live gigs, you know, you don't have to do anything special. Matter of fact, oh, where is my website at? Let's see. Well, here, it's, oh God, see, there's so much stuff there, just try to remember. Okay, if you guys could see this, let's see, I gotta do this because certain information I'm not allowed to give out, you know what I mean, guys? Could you guys see that? This is our website. I hope it's not like, oh, you know what I mean? Who says www anymore? DaveByronMusic.com or dbyronmusic@gmail.com. There you go, you know. Now you could send us, it doesn't have to be anything super perfect, you know. I mean, I think the only way a sound would sound bad is if you know, grab your old cassette players, you know, and you take a 90-minute cassette, or remember the 120-minute tapes, which I think what you got, I forget what, well, it'd be 60 minutes per side. Gee, duh. So the 120 tape, cassette tape, and then you find that old tape that you had that you recorded, I don't know, 5 times over on it. So you lose all this generation, then you erase it and you record something else on there, and it's like way in the background you can't hear. That's the only way it's going to sound kind of terrible, but you'd be surprised. Sometimes you get good stuff recorded on your phones now. So if you guys got original music or like just jam sessions you want me to go ahead and, I'd be honored to do it, man, because I really like to take what I see on YouTube and bring it to the people that, you know, see, they think that there's this generation gap of the YouTubers are the millennials and us older people. I've had people tell me that and they're like 10 years younger than me. I'm like, dude, I was born in 63. I get on YouTube. So, you know, it's all kind of crazy stuff out there. I'm going to give a couple shout outs. We got AR2R3 locking up. What is happening, man? Let's see if I catch up on the chats, because sometimes they go and then my mouth goes, and I apologize about that. But that intro, Jason Wade, let's see, no. David Stafford's studio did a video, pick up and play your guitar, right? So I checked that out, and there's a link to it that takes us to Jason Wade. And by the way, subscribe to all these people's channels if you haven't already. And then what it is, it's Judd Lofthouse. I'll actually put this up. So I want to give a shout out to Judd Lofthouse and to Phone and Guitars Only. And we'll talk about that, you know, in a little bit there. And of course, Ed Dana and R2RC Locking Up, Joe Wentz Project, Jim Giedrid, you know, and Dave Stafford. You know, I typed in, when I uploaded the video last night, and I typed in Stafford's studio, and I said Stafford's I'm Tired, you know, because my when it comes up on the screen, it's real short title, so I made sure that Stafford's name was in there, and I did type in Stafford, but because I was so tired, I didn't check the spell check. As soon as I hit like the send, it changed it to Sanford's, you know. So, and I was tired, man. I mean, I was 18 and a half hours I was up. So by that time I was just wiped out, man. So yeah, I also want to give a shout out to Ed Dana. I was checking out Ed Dana's live chat last night. I didn't check all of it because I just was getting into the latter part of it, and also shout out to Swab Trainwreck, and I need to write all everybody's names down and just spend like a whole day, or a whole like hour just giving shout outs to people because I really appreciate everyone that tunes in. We've got a great community here that always tries to support each other and share each other's experiences. I know Joe Winch Project has been he's been talking about like showing his guitars and that and the great stories he had with his Telecaster when I guess he was gonna. It sounded like he was gonna audition for a radio station band, and that was a cool story. And he's right. That's how it is in these studios. Because I've been on a couple of TV shows, and you get in, and you're the guest, and you get to demonstrate, and then you only have X amount of time to set up, and then make sure you're tuned up, and then they hit that record button, you're on. So it's pretty interesting. It's also interesting when you're going to be recorded for an upcoming event. This happened, we were still in Chicago, and it was an event for Cinco de Mayo. So they actually had me come in and play 3 days before Cinco de Mayo, and it was on Channel 9. I forget the girl's name. Oh my God, Anna. She's on WGN News around town. Anna, I can't remember her last name. Real sweet girl, really, really funny girl, And she comes up to me, she says, now, whatever you do, don't say Happy Cinco de Mayo. Or don't say, yeah, Cinco de Mayo is in 3 days. Don't say that because we want you to say, yeah, Happy Cinco de Mayo if we have you say anything. Because we have to edit it, so by the time it's edited and goes up on air, it's really not live. It's 2 or 3 days prior to it. The only thing is live is like right here. But I thought that was a great story that Joe had, Really, really cool stuff. And let's see, I want to see. Oh, am I supposed to get that track and jam over it or make my own? Yeah, you know what? Okay, that track that I just got from Judd Lofthouse, I think, you go to the website, but what I did is I literally on YouTube was able to track it down and get it to play right off my phone and record it to my Digitech Jamman stereo. And I did add the bass, but I have to redo the bass, and I want to make sure that bass is like right here in the mix, because it's not that he didn't do a great mix, he did an awesome mix. Sometimes if I feel I don't hear bass guitar, I just add just a little bit. But I'll tell you what, guys, whenever you have something up and you say, Dave, don't add anything, just play guitar, then I'll just honor your request and just play guitar, Let's see what's happening out here. Giving shout outs to each other, yeah. See, this is what I mean, man. This right here is great, man. Because you see, everyone, Ed Dana, go to bed. Yeah, you're right, Ed. Oh my God, man, I was wiped out last night, man. Ed, I agree with you about that Fender Acoustic Sonic. Now, I haven't seen the other videos. I just watched a little bit of Anderton's. And they did a great job of just jamming away on that guitar. And then there was a video from Guitar Center, a guy playing the Acoustic Sonics. And I agree with you, Ed. I don't understand some of these people. I haven't seen that. So there's people out there complaining that it doesn't sound acoustic enough. These would be the same type of person that would grab a semi-hollow guitar and not plug it in and say, it sounds thin. Well, you're supposed to plug it in, you know what I mean? It's kind of sad, but I think it's a great concept. I think you might start seeing that guitar in a lot of studios because of its versatility, its extreme versatility. A lot of session players will probably really use that guitar, especially in the pop music, pop, country, and any type of a crossover, any type of crossover. Because if you're a creative person, you'll know what to do with all this stuff. Speaking of creative people, I want to also give a shout out to the Picker's Hat. And Impriism, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, or like Emps Jam, and EJ's Guitars. See, sometimes I can't pronounce people's names. You know, people say to me, Dave, what do you got, speech impediment? No, I'm just stupid, that's all. I don't need medication or pills or any of this crap. Anyone our age can remember the days when we were in school and they would tell you, say no to drugs. And then all of a sudden they put you on Ritalin. Well, that's a drug, you know. Or another one is, and I was joking with Suave Trainwreck, you know, he's on his live chat and he's saying, oh man, I really need to quit smoking. And I typed in, yeah, but remember, quitters never win, you know, and it's crazy stuff, that's all. But, so, we had the NAMM show, guys, as you all know. Let's see if I check out some of these. Old man Dan, how you doing, my friend? You know, in between my routes and that, when I can't, my time is real short, I get on YouTube and I, check. So if I don't always leave a comment, if you see the extra thumbs up without a comment, chances are it's me because I didn't have time to type it in, and I'm afraid to say anything, in the microphone because sometimes it picks up ambient noise and it's trying to read what you're saying, and next thing you know, boom. It takes a word and totally changes it around, and I don't want people to think I'm insulting them, because, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So, but anyways, yeah, so the NAMM show is over, and some of us are glad, and, it's a great experience going to NAMM. If any of you have gone to NAMM, let's see, I just downloaded the backing track for, okay, you know what it is? The title is Tired but Not Inspired. I'm wondering if that was a misprint and if it's supposed to read Tired but Not Uninspired. I mean, I could be wrong. But it's interesting because I don't know how many of you ever had to play a show when you're tired. Ed, you probably have. Rick, you probably have. Guitar Hack, which is another great guy I want to give a shout out to. I'm pretty sure he has, but where we've had situations, man, and Jimmy T again, what's happening, my friend? We've had situations when we were doing I call them road shows because we were not out on extensive tours, but we were doing cross country shows, and we funded it all ourselves, man. But what happens is that when you're in a situation where you get X amount of shows kind of back to back, and if they're kind of close within a few states, that's where you start having this situation where you're playing and you're just dog tired because you're done with one show, you got to pack up the gear because who could afford roadies, and if you're on a tight budget, then you get what you pay for. So if you have roadies that you're on a tight budget, you might get lucky to get someone that is coherent. Usually they're not coherent. They got a couple of drinks in them and they're chasing skirts, they're chasing girls. That's great if you're a single guy. Don't do it if you're married. You remember, happy wife, happy life, right? But so you have to pack the gear up yourself. Then you got to drive X amount of miles and sometimes, or X amount of hours. Could be 8 hours, Now, here comes your compounded loss of sleep. And this happened numerous times, but one in particular. We did a Cinco de Mayo gig in St. Louis, and then the very next day, we had 2 shows in Aurora, Illinois, for the Warehouse Church at Motorcycle Sunday. I opened up, and it was like 9:15 in the morning, I opened up, and then when I was done with my set, then I played with the band. And it was all a mixture of all kind of bands, rock, metal, blues. And so the night before, it was a 5-hour drive one way. I played 4 hours, then another 5-hour drive back. And of course, the unfortunate thing, Deb drove there, and then Deb drove back. So, I mean, really, she was exhausted, a lot more than I was. But when you're playing, you're burning a lot of energy. So She got maybe 20 minutes of sleep. I got maybe 15 minutes of sleep, and then I had hit the stage with the expectation of boom, you got all this energy. You're always on. I'll tell you, man, that is tough. So this challenge, that David put out there, tired but not inspired. Um, yeah, it's a challenge, man. When you got to do shows and you're exhausted, wow, you're only human, no matter who it is. So I guess now, when I looking back at the concerts we go to, and the concerts where the artist is toward the end of their tour, not the very last, but getting close to it. And when you see them not having as much energy or anything like that, then that explains what's going on. They're tired. So, but a lot of fun though. A lot of fun. So, yeah, I just downloaded. Okay, look at this. I'm way behind. I had fun doing Stafford's Music Challenge. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out, R2. I like watching everybody play. When I give compliments to people playing in that, if I'm going to say anything negative or anything, I'd rather them. You could want to contact me through my website and say, all right, yeah, Dave, or if someone wants to take lessons or something like that, kind of do it privately, and of course I'm not going to say you didn't this and you didn't that, because hey, I don't care. You could take a college professor with a doctorate's degree, and they're not going to be doing everything perfect. I mean, that's just the way it is. So, but I'd rather encourage people than to tear them down, especially on YouTube in front of everybody. It's just kind of crazy. But I'll tell you what. So I'm trying to catch up on the chats here. That it looked. Oh, it took the hang. Oh yeah, you took the hangout down. People are misrepresenting me in other hangouts. Oh, and not getting my point. Yeah, hey Ed, because I was looking for that, because I just came in toward the latter half of your hangout, and yeah, I understand. I totally understand. And you know what? I've seen another hangout where people were saying about, if you got people who are guitar collectors, okay, so they buy all this expensive gear and it becomes a wall hanger for them, and I mean that's fine, because that's been going on for very, very way before YouTube, way before YouTube. And usually, the people that have the extreme high-end gear, chances they're not professional musicians. They'll do it for their own pleasure, and a lot of them are extremely good, by the way. But they'll have extreme professional jobs. A lot of them will be doctors and lawyers. Or if it's someone that's got a construction company, or well, let's say put it like this. People that got, was it 1-800 got junk? Guy's a millionaire now. He wants to walk in Guitar Center and buy with high-end guitars. He could do all that, or to a specialty place. He could do that. So I mean, there's that aspect of it. But the only thing that really would get me is their opinion is their opinion, and I respect their opinion. And constructive criticism, I also respect, because I don't know everything, and I might be missing something. So when someone brings it up to my attention, sometimes it takes a little while for it to sink in. But then when it does, it's like, ooh, I totally understand what he or she was trying to tell me. Thank you for letting me know. But you do have a group of these people that will try to tell you how the radius is on this neck, a certain pickup is here, and the reason why you shouldn't this and you shouldn't that, and stay away from Digitech and stay away from Ibanez and stay away from... You buy what you want. But it's when they try to get so factual with me, and they try to tell me what's going to sit in a live mix, what's going to work in all type of situations, and they have no proof. They're in their room and they're not doing anything like out there. There's no proof. That's the only thing I could ever say that, I'm not going to listen to someone like that. Especially if they're going to tell me, well, see, they don't, because I think they figured out my personality, and I'll tell them straightforward, in person, politely, and then if it gets to like a heated argument, just walk away, because, I know they're not. Speaking of Joe Wentz, I always like to give the shout outs, my friends, to good people, you know what I mean? That's why I don't mention names. I'll mention a bad situation, and I'm not trying to be negative, but the reason why I'll say these things is to forewarn people before they quit their day job and take a second mortgage on the house, and they got kids. They deplete their children's college fund, or I always like to say, if the kid doesn't want to go to college and is mechanically inclined, send them to trade school. A tradesperson will always come out ahead making money fast. Guaranteed, my friends. And I think, Ed, you could testify to this, and anyone that's done construction, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Those are your needs. Guarantee it. I'm not trying to knock college education, don't get me wrong, but been there, done that. I've, except, there's exceptions. But it just seems like for all that money, it takes a long time. But my point is, they deplete all this money, and they listen to these people, and then it's not a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's like a ditch, skid road, and all that expensive gear. We all know, especially if there's an economy that's like this. When they tell you, yeah, but it's gonna be worth this, you could turn around and sell it for that. Go ahead and try it. You might get lucky. Go ahead and take it to a pawn shop. You might get lucky, but chances are you're not. And that's just reality. So, to me, it's the player, it's not the gear. And I've been said on Ed's channel, I said, I'd like to take some of these people back in time. I think Ed, you said about you had the Tedesco Del Rey guitar. Sorry, guys. Let's see. I had, it was a Checkmate. Very similar guitar. Real cheap. And then my amplifier had one knob. You click, and that was it. And it was real skinny. It was about maybe 4 inches, and real tall. Complete open back with a little tiny 6-inch speaker. That was junk. But I'll tell you what, when I started using my pedals, getting my pedal collection, I took my Ibanez Tube Screamer when they first came out. That's how long ago this was. I ran it through that amp. I wish I would have kept it. I just wish to God. And I can't find any of these amplifiers or any of this stuff anymore. I don't know. Maybe they're supplied. They took them and burned them or something. I don't know what they do with some of the stuff. Won't that be something if all that cheap gear now is worth thousands of dollars? Which back then, you bought the guitar for $25, the amplifier maybe for 15, maybe 10, But that's what we had. So I kind of like coming from that era where we had to really apply ourselves, because that's how you really get good. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, RJ, I'm catching up on wow, I am seeing a lot of orange here. Thanks. I don't know if it's on mine or maybe everyone else's. Yeah. Anyways, let's check this out. So yeah, RJ. Yeah, same people that would grab a 7-string and say it sounds too bassy, and yeah, laugh my ass off. Exactly. Like the 8-string guitars. I wouldn't mind grabbing one, and I know how I'd use that. I wouldn't be what you call gent or anything like that. Or if I'm going to spend the money, I know there's a company called Cathedral Guitars that make classical guitars. I think this one is running for like $1,500. Electric acoustic with a cutaway, but it's a 10-string, and the fretboard, the fretboard's like this. So, because I'm also into classical style guitar and that, and if you play Baroque music or anything like that, you get into those deep basses, and when you're doing this with a clean sound, wow, does it sound great. Or I saw a guy with an Ibanez 7-string jazz guitar, and he did some interesting tuning with that low B, and it sounded great. Then I seen a guy take the cheapest, the most affordable Ibanez 8-string, and what he did, I can't remember if he did with the 7-string, but that 8-string, he tuned it down to E, so you got this full octave range. Now, if I grab one of those, which I just might, in the future, not right away, but how I would approach that very low string, I really wouldn't. I'd play it with a clean sound so you get that real nice depth. Maybe occasionally with distortion, but when I would use the distortion, I would fade it in and with delay, and just take that as you're fading in the bowing of a cello for certain things. And if I want, I could put the Roland pickup in there and then, get all those super low ends. But you see, that's how I look at all that stuff. I don't look at it like, you gotta have it, but I just look at it like it's a very creative tool, like the harp guitar. Now you're getting into these specialty instruments where if you got a creative mind, boom, everything opens up. Let's see. Ed says, old man Dan, you are brave riding a bike and yeah. Oh yeah, I mean you guys, I'll tell you what, let's see, it's been nice outside at 40 degrees, the old man Dan, yeah. Well, you know what, it even gets pretty cold at 40. Oh, let's see, at Dana, it's 34 here in Northeast Ohio. Well, at least it's starting to warm up a little bit for you guys. Because I know it was like with the wind chills, they said on the news the other day, something like about 40 below zero with the wind chill, Ed, how many gigs have you done in the wintertime where you take all your gear out and it's cold and then you got the snow and the slush and the salt and you're, walking, grabbing your gear, See, this is what I mean. And, in response to what was said, see, many tire shows, especially after construction jobs. Oh my God, Ed, yeah. People have asked me, friends in the area here, when I'll talk about our road shows. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just trying to get this. All our road shows, and we still had our construction company, and the last time I was on a job site was March of 2007, and that's everything was just. The supply houses would tell me, Dave, you and a couple other guys are the only ones that are coming in and picking up parts. And it's because a lot of the bigger companies, when they got a big crew and they got trucks, not just one, but multiple trucks, they got high overhead. And boy, I'll tell you, man, that just wiped everybody out. And, but, so we took the money, our extra money, and we were able to fund all our road shows. This is why I had said about if you really want to do something musically and you're tired of club owners and booking agents, going like this to you and like shunting you out and the growth chokers and all those type of people, and if you got money, you could buy your way in practically. And I know that that's not very popular. See, if a bar down the street is telling me they got bookings, they have bands, and all I gotta do is submit something or talk with them, if I really wanted to play that place, then I would go ahead and do the ticket sale. If I really wanted to play at that place. But if I didn't, and they want to charge to pay to play, then I'd just bypass that place. I wouldn't even talk with them, Not saying anything bad about them, but that's not how I would do that at a bar that would have, they're open to gigs, entertainment. They have music. To me, that's the difference between the pay to play. But like if there's a certain place you want to play at, that you have a chance of turning a profit. See, then now you're talking. It is kind of worth taking that chance, even if you come out. And we're back. Yeah. So, tons of freezing air. Oh yeah, Ed. How about it, man? I hated it, especially now. Ed. That's why. We were very fortunate and blessed enough. I can't mention any names of good friend helping us out, and we had this opportunity to relocate. That's when we took it. You live once in this life, and you have to be sensible about it. You do have to, when you're gonna relocate and you're a musician and you do this on the basis of trying to get all these gigs. You have to do your research. There's no question about that. And it's not just YouTube research. If you have the opportunity, okay, yeah, if you have the opportunity to actually go to a place and visit and see exactly what the climate is like, that's really a good way to do that. But always, even if everything looks like it's all in your favor, it's promise, 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 it's going to be wonderful, always have in the back of your head, hey, Quentin James, what's happening, my friend? Thanks for joining in. Always have in the back of your mind that there's a possibility that it's oversaturation, and do I have skills if I have to work an outside job outside of music, totally away from music, so that I do not deplete my savings. This is something that a lot of people don't seem to understand at first, because in their mind they think that, okay, we're already contacted and everything's a go. And trust me, I always like to keep that positive energy and that positive outlook. But in the back of my mind, I did have it that, the weather's always nice down here outside the hurricanes, and you get rainy storms, but is there saturation down here? Am I going to be up against saturation? Oh, let's see, we got more people tuning in. Dale Palmer, what's happening, man? Buckluster, what's happening? Thanks for calling me. Hey, how about it? I don't mind being called a kid now, man. I'll tell you that. And I'll tell you what. When I got people that's 10, even 5 years older than me calling me a kid, I still respect my elders. I'm going to tell you why. Not that they know everything, but for the simple fact that they have that X amount of years of just experience in life. They're going to have some sort of knowledge that I'm not going to have. And when they share it, they're not trying to be rude or disrespectful. They're just saying, hey, watch out, When you turn 50, you're going to go to colonoscopy. You're going to get this, you get that. Sometimes you got to do that even sooner, my friends. If that runs in your family, it's not cool, but you got... Oh, Michael Random, what's happening, my friend? Gotta run, great. Hey, no problem, man. No problem at all. You can always catch the rerun, This is always open for everybody. I try to keep my channel open for everybody. You get the trolls that they give you a thumbs up and they give you a thumbs down. They'll give you a thumbs down. You can hand them $1 million and they'll take your $1 million, and as soon as your back is turned, they're giving you a thumbs down, I love you. I love you not. I'm your friend. I'm not just go, make a decision. You like me or you don't. Make a decision. I'm not going to cry and wet the bed over it. I'll tell you that for right now, man. But, sorry, guys. Don't mean to be rambling so much. But yeah, when you relocate, these are the things you have to keep in mind. And I'm not trying to I hope it doesn't come across as bashing anybody when there's people out there that say, oh, no, I'm 100% music and that. I hope it works for you. Especially if you're young, you got time on your side. But you got to keep this in the back of your head. Everything's changed. It's saturation across the board. Complete saturation. Yeah, right? Yeah, how about it, Dale? You see, there's a problem with this. And I have to say this, and I hope I hope if I let's see, Tim Ferg, what's happening, my friend? Here's the thing. A couple of our YouTubers, they have friends, they have a couple of videos up, and they're using YouTube for their pleasure. Maybe they're starting out, or they've been playing for a long time, and this is their opportunity to really share their fun and share, their talent. And right away, they get pushed aside, they get thrown under the bus. That's not cool, and so I understand their frustration. But see, that's what these trolls, if those are the trolls, you know what I mean? Which I think that's what the term really means. These people that, what they do, they play one-upmanship. And they will value you if you got X amount of subs. And then they'll try to steal your subs or do whatever they're doing. And then so that they got 5 more subs than you do, then they're better than you. And they don't say hi to you in the live streams. Now granted, you're going to have it where some of these live streams, it's going real fast and people are trying to play catch up. That is not what I mean. That's totally different, because eventually say, oh, yeah, I'm sorry I missed you or whatever. GTTV, what's happening, my friend? But it's over a duration of time, and this is how bad this is getting. I have friends that they don't even have YouTube channels, or they might start one based on, and I can't mention their names because they're friends that I've down in the area here, and they'll say, Dave, I checked out that channel because you said something about it, and I'm into classic cars and 50s and 60s, rock and roll, and these kind of like rock and roll, you know what I mean? Especially the old Flying V's and the Stratocasters and all that, And it takes me back to the good old days when life was simple. So that's kind of cool. So there's a guitar channel. So based on what I tell them, I say, yeah, just check them out, Then they get on, and then it starts to take off for them. And I had a guy tell me, he says, Dave, what I've noticed, I get on these chats just to see, because this is interesting to me. And next thing you know, this person is disrespecting that person. Someone says hi here, and I noticed this over a couple of times now. So I know it's not someone that just didn't see them saying hi. It's deliberate. So you know what they do? Then they say, you know what? I don't think I like this too much anymore. Bye, click unsubscribe and whatever, and then they say bye, and then all it does is it turns people away. And then the people that do that are the same people that will turn around and say everyone's welcome, or we care about the guitar community. If they did, they wouldn't be acting like that. The problem that they don't realize is that everything they say and do, it stays. You could take it down off your channel. You could have all your friends contact them. Ooh, hurry up and shut it down. And you might not find it right away on, the platform that we use. But it stays up there. And if a person's name is mentioned and where they're being bashed, and that person's name is also a business, and that guy or gal who has this business with their name, and they have a whole crap load of money, and they don't want their name being bashed, it's their decision. If they want to hire an attorney and start suing people, whatever, for slandering, hey, that's up to them. They could do that. And everything stays up on that cloud or platform or whatever the hell they call it, and all you do is investigate. Now everyone's in trouble. See, this is what I mean. Why even do it? Oh, Jason just... I mean, it's a lot, if it's but acting, well, I'll tell you. Dropouts. So let's see if I can catch up. Buck Lester, yeah. Oh, Karma Cafe, no menu. You get what you... That day. Yeah, that's about it, man. You get what you deserve, I don't know. It's sad, because these people, all they got to do is retract. Everyone has an opinion about someone. You're not going to like and get along with everybody. Of course not. We all know that. G major scales. Oh, okay. That's phone and guitars. Putting up a video. I'll check that out. A GT TV, guitar TV. Thank you for the compliment when you said about the tone that I'm getting. I need to have you make a special video. Yeah, I'll whatever you want. Just the request. I'll see what I could do, man. I'll try to catch up on the chats because I don't ever want to disrespect people. Oh, you have an idea video. Yeah, you know what? Okay, so, and I'm gonna do a separate video just on this. So, see if I do this live and right in the middle I'm doing it live, then I freeze and all this other crap. So, but when I had mentioned about taking the song Crazy Train and just its solo rhythm, I'll do a separate video, and all I'm gonna do is just play the solo rhythm, and actually it's like this. So if you're watching DTV, it's sometimes we don't always remember tempos and stuff like that. It happens with me, trust me. The chord progression for the solo is F sharp, E, D, D flat, G sharp, back to F sharp. So it's like this. So that's what I'm gonna record. I don't know if you guys seen this. I forget the guy's name, and I have subscribed to him, and I'm still subscribed to him. He's a drummer. He played the whole song, but just drums. That's all you hear is just drums. And this is what I like about this platform, and all these challenges that we do. If you guys remember when you go back into the studio days, and they would hire you, put down a track here, put down a track there, and let's say, all right, the drums, when he wants to lay his tracks down, so he's done, because it takes time to setting up with the microphones and everything. So then I come in with the rhythm guitar, and I'm only gonna do rhythm because it's got to be, this all has to be layered, right? So the only thing I'm hearing is drums. I gotta have that song so worked out in my head so that when I'm recording it, every time the drummer does something, I know exactly where the rhythm structure is. Now, it's a lot easier with a cover song because the cover song is already there. It gets challenging a little bit with originals. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that, okay? Because if you don't know the cover song, it's still challenging. With the original, you have the luxury of just altering something. However, if something is basically set in stone, you want to get as close to it as possible, and your only backdrop is drums. So that's another challenge. So I'm also going to do that guy's challenge, and I think what I'm going to do, until I could get myself a laptop and the time where I could do all the editing, because this is like beyond my knowledge, unfortunately. That's why when I did EJ's guitar shred challenge, I literally put my phone by the TV, my smart TV, and just pulled up that video, tried to turn down the sound, and you heard what I recorded on the loop pedal, and just old school. I'll probably have to do that with the drummer, so you can actually see what I mean. And it's just his drums. And if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. I'm not, perfect, but just so people could kind of see how all that is done. Let's see, Dale Palmer. I figured if at 53 I can jump on a bike and ramp up my heart up to 118.58 or 158 beats per minute, an average of 45 plus, 145 plus for over an hour of riding, and not drop dead, I'm reading it, I might still be okay. Yeah, you definitely would be, old man. Is it Old Man Dan? Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Sometimes I just miss the chats go so fast, and I got everything on the screen here. Howdy, Dave. Hey, what's happening? Han 36 Solo. What has happened? Welcome aboard, my friend. Welcome aboard. I'm gonna definitely, I'm sure there's ways that you could check who is subscribed to your channel. Not who you subscribe, but who's subscribed to your channel. Because so I could start to get back into, because man, I'll tell you what, we got so busy and I lost track of getting on people's videos, and I feel bad because I always like to check everyone out, but there's only 24 hours in a day, and okay, yeah. Oh, so I hope this is not too loud, because I literally got this right next to this amp. Okay, guys, I'm trying to check this out. TV kitchen counter already. Yeah, we actually, Dana, yeah. We're actually going to be moving some of here to another room so I could really fix it up. As, because sometimes the cats come and they step on stuff, and the next thing you know, I got Russia coming through. It's the Russians. Yes, I told you they were, you know what I mean? No, the cat stepped on something. Which I'll show you what this pedal board is like. And speaking of like pedals, hey, Sean Zimmerman, what's happening? Welcome aboard, my friend. Pound what? Pound 2. Old Man Dan. Yeah, I hope you're here from. Oh, you're from my niece, PhD. Oh, wow. Oh, that's really cool, Ed. With autism, yeah. Hey, when I was teaching in Illinois, I had all kind of students, and I had some that is called special needs. I don't like using that term, but I had students with autism, and one thing instantly recognize is they remember everything. It is so bizarre. I'll forget something and they'll remember it like it happened yesterday. And this will be like 3 or 4 months down the road. And it's like almost to the T. So a lot of them are just they just have that mindset. It's just different. That's all it is. And but it's still sad when people when people look down on that because I don't I'm kind of glad that things have kind of opened up for that so people don't look down. Oh, EVH pound cake. So let's see, EVH pound cake. I wonder, GT, if this is what, yeah. Okay, so EVH pound cake. I'll check it out because I keep all the videos up, and if I miss something, I'll just look at the replay in the chats. Yeah, it's hard to keep up on vids. Yeah, it is, Ed. Oh my God, right? Who really has all the time like that? Oh, old man, her name is Molly. Oh wow, okay. I can only see half of my subs. The rest must have theirs set to private. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, thanks, Buckluster. Thanks for sharing that because, some people, they just want their privacy, and I respect that. Nothing is ever taken personal because, we live in a day and age with all these weirdos running around and you don't know who is who, and it's like, are you kidding me? You see, the result why things got so bad is you got weak leadership. Back in the day, if someone acted out of line, you took affirmative action, and it was done. And that's not abuse, okay? There was abuse, we all know that, but there's a difference between discipline and abuse, and it's unfortunate you can't discipline even these kids. They run wild, The problem is, they're running wild back then, let's say in the 90s. Now they're older. Now they're adults and they're running wild. They're driving in their cars like this on the phone. I mean, down here in Florida, or in the area that we're at, it's got to be like the car crash capital of the world. It's unbelievable. And there's not a week that goes by. It's not 2 to 3 to maybe 5 car accidents. And I said to Deb, I says, geez, we're in the Fort Myers, Cape Coral area. And the coldest it gets down here is maybe 45 degrees, if that. And I says to Deb, I said, I don't think there's any snow out. No, there's no ice. No, there's these accidents. During the day, they're not paying attention. So, let's see. Dale Palmer, I have way too many channels I'm sub to, so it's impossible. Yeah, same here. And I sub to everyone's channels, especially if it's the same interest, only because I like watching YouTube, and I've learned a lot through a lot of other people's channels, and I like to help support them, Now those RV videos that we put up, there is a channel, there's other RV channels I'd watch, but there's a couple, and the name of their channel is Exploring the Local Life, and they live in a travel trailer. And, man, they got some great information. And the reason why we're not really in the market right now to buy an RV. Because now being down here in Florida, we're kind of stationed right here. But maybe in 10 years we might. But we were going to buy an RV because we had so many road shows. And it's just a lot more cost efficient to actually live in your RV and go from gig to gig to gig. But a lot of the gigs are starting to dry up. And then it comes to the point where people want to devalue you. And then, they get an idea. They'll hire a DJ. You see, you can make money on the road at some of these gigs. The festivals, it's almost really hard to make money. And this is going back to when people were buying CDs. We'd sell our CDs. We would do the meet and greet. I'd be signing CDs, and I'd always ask, who should I make this out to? So I make it more personal for that person, and always would thank them and Say God bless you for your support and that. But see, now people get everything on YouTube, right? So, or not just even YouTube, but Facebook and the internet. So that's why I had said what's going on with the cover songs. This is the result. Everything's for free. No one can make any money. So now it's your merchandise. You have to jack up the price on that to make a buck, because the biggest expense you're gonna have is your vehicle. When you're doing all these road shows, you got to make sure you do your oil change. If you don't do your oil change, you can start putting wear and tear on that engine, and we all know how much everything costs. See, the cars are not like they were in the 70s. You pop the hood, if you got an 8-cylinder, boom, it's right there. You could just, you can mess with everything right there. Now you got to hook up to a computer. Now, if someone rams into the bumper, you're looking at $2,000 right there, and a musician's budget, especially when you're doing road shows, it's not there. So, definitely, yeah, Dale Pound, exactly. They're almost impossible. Yeah, it really is to try to catch up with everyone's chat. It's the old man Dan. Yep. Many on the spectrum have also OCD and will repeat a task until they have it. Yeah. You know what? You don't really think about, same Dave dude, what's happening? You really don't think about it, but maybe there's a bit of OCD when we try to perfect our craft as a musician, especially if you get into playing classical guitar and now you want to start going through the Guitar Foundation of America's competitions and the conventions and all that. You know what? It is a different world. It's a totally different world, and it's almost a world of absolute perfection. You're going to be reading notation, so you can be prepared for that. And the amount of players that are just absolutely phenomenally good. And we're not talking about speed demons. We're talking about everything is coming from their hands. All the dynamics, all the finesse. So if you're doing an hour show, or even a 2-hour show especially, for classical guitars, solo, your mindset has to be so engulfed in just that style, just the pieces of music that you are going to perform. Your technique's got to be there. You got to take in consideration, usually classical guitarists are going to play in rooms that are just so acoustically well, it's unbelievable. Your guitars will run for we're back again, sorry guys. But as I say, your guitars will run from anywhere from 5,000 to 15,000. No cutaway, no electronics. It's just the way they're made extremely well. So when I see NAMM, and I see all this, that, and all electronic, of course I use electric guitar, But when I look at the world of classical guitar, you're talking high-end instruments now. But see, no one really talks about that. How many times have you seen on NAMM YouTube videos, we're going to go and we're going to look at Hill guitars, or we're going to look at Ramirez guitars, or Rodriguez guitars, oh my God, there's a couple other that offhand I can't remember. Harman guitars, out of Germany, Hauser guitars, Segovia played mostly Ramirez, but he did have a Hauser guitar. Who's Hauser? I never heard of him, And then the average person, if they will look at it at a quick glance, oh, that's a folk guitar. Oh, they wouldn't understand until they just pluck. All you gotta do is pluck the low E, and it's like the whole room resonates. But it's not this booming sound. It's so musical, it's unbelievable. You're hearing that out of a wooden instrument. But it's because it's this high end. But you see, that's the world of classical guitar. Because everything comes from your hands. The guitar definitely plays a role in it. You're not really plugged in. But people are there to watch that. So that's why it's a different world. But that's what I mean with the OCD. You're sitting there practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. And I might do this. Back in the mid 2000s. Close to the mid 2000s. I was actually going to start to rehearse to do the competitions over at GFA, Guitar Foundation of America. And trust me, I was expecting to get my butt whipped badly. So what I did, I get the pieces of music. and I was still doing construction, and I'd have sheet metal cuts on my fingers, but I would play these pieces of music. I would close my eyes, and I would just try and envision, do I hear this part of this song played as soft because this moment in the song is supposed to be soft? Can it take me somewhere? You get into these competitions, man. You think all these shredders, with the egos. Let me tell you, they get in that world and they'll do a fast 180 out that exit door because what they're gonna see and what they're gonna hear, their mouth is gonna drop, and it's not shredding. It's like I said, absolute. You're walking just like you said, Ed, and I think you said it best. Ingve wows me in that, but I like to be moved. When you walk in the world of classical guitar, that's what you experience. Movement, like emotional movement like you've never experienced. So, and it's 100% from the hands. It's not devices, So that's what I mean. It's a different world. And boy, I'll tell you what, you want to talk about a challenge, man. That's a tough one. But you see, I like playing the electric guitar too, Yeah, sorry about this, guys. I get rambling. Then you know what happens? You get the dropout, and then next thing you know, you hit replay, and then the chat's like this, and you're down here. You know what I mean? So, all right, you know what I'm gonna do, guys? This is what I'm gonna do. I'm not shutting down or anything right now. I did say I was gonna show the pedal board, and Ed, yeah, I remember you said you've done a couple of your pedal boards and that, and I think it's great because then we get to see what everyone's using and for whatever particular style it is, But to get back to what GTV said when I did the challenge for Tired but not Inspired, and he liked the tone. I'm gonna get exactly right to the tone. Well, here I'm gonna do this so you guys can actually see. So please bear with me, guys, because I have to do this like this. Old school. Totally old school, right? No editing. We're reconnecting. I have to flip the camera here. Oh. Alright, so this is the deal. Right? Let me see if I can do this where it's not. So, this is the pedal board that I'm using. Okay, sorry guys. We're reconnected and then we're upside down. Okay, guys. Sorry about this. I don't know what happened. The chats are upside down, but the picture's right side up. You see what I mean? It ain't easy being me. Anyways, I hope you guys are still out there. If not, you guys definitely check out, the replay. But this is what I'm using with my pedal board. So, let me grab this. Of course, I unplugged it. The Digitech drop I do use, but I'm not plugged into that. That silver pedal is the Zoom Acoustic 3, A3 pedal. But, so, here's the deal. The effect processor is the Digitech, and this is the foot switch that I use to go up and down my patch numbers. And the reason why I have that set like that is so that I could turn on and off individual effects if I want. Let's see if I can get this to get closer, guys. Nothing worse than, can't see anything, you can't zoom in, you can't zoom out. Sorry guys. You see what I mean? So now you wonder why I get so PO'd sometimes. But see, these are my two looping pedals. And Robert's Guitar Dungeon, I like Robert Guitar's Dungeon. For you know what I like about him? He's not trying to be a superstar. I'm not saying the other people are. But he's very, very down to earth. You give him shout outs, he definitely returns and thanks you for that. If he doesn't do it on his channel, he sends you the message, but eventually he'll do it on his channel, because he's just a down to earth guy. Plus, he's got the knowledge of doing retail. And he's got a video up talking about how the used market purchasing used gear, how it really works. So, that's what I like about him. But what he was talking about is with the Ditto Loopers, TC Electronics. Today he was giving shout-outs, basically why guitar players should check out TC Electronics. And I do like TC Electronics gear. I think they're doing great stuff there. And I agree with Robert's Guitar Dungeon. A lot of these loopers, you got all these buttons and stuff is flashing. You know what the hell. But once you get used to using what you want to use, all the other stuff, all they are is options. So, let me see if I could do this, guys, without, screwing people's visions up here. There we go. Come on. Nope. Okay, so here's my foot switch to go up and down. This third little switch here, this third little button, this pedal has an internal looper, but I don't really use it. This is the main thing that I use for this. Patch up, patch down. So, right now, I'm in more of a Marshall sound. And I'm actually going to turn this little lamp a little facing this way. Okay. Now, part of the tone is from the Digitech, but I understand what GTV was saying, because I was using my Gibson, and it's got the pole pots, and it also has the out of phase. That's what I think you were really hearing. But this is the patch I was using, and I've got it called Boogs Phase, and Boogs is my cat's nickname, short for Boogie Butt. But it's a phase shifter. What it is, it's a simulated Fender amp. Now I'll turn off the phaser. The delay. So your standard Fender sound, with the Ibanez guitar style basically. But here's my overdrive. So you can still hear the notes. It's not really harsh distortion. And you know what, guys? This is right side up. Is this upside Dave Byron? All the chat is upside down. I don't know why that happened. So I hope that's not upside down. But all what you guys are saying, it's coming up upside down. So it's more of an overdrive sound. The reason why I like a cleaner distortion, if I'm using a heavier distortion, I boost the mids, because I like the notes to cut through. Especially if you do speed bursts. There's nothing, to me, it sounds, when you cut the mids out, and you got all this distortion, and you're trying to play something, it works if you're doing like melodies, and just like whole notes, But as soon as you do a speed burst, boom, it's like everything disappears, So, that's basically the sound I'm using for David Stafford's challenge. Now here I'm gonna go up here. Okay. Now this patch is clear. Okay, let me show you something. When I go back down, when you save something, I could go up. I got nothing on there. Come back down. It's saved. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys something here. When I'm creating rhythms, okay? And this, guys, just bear with me, because it's not easy. Okay, so how I do things, rhythm guitar and drums. Okay. And then there's a little something I want to also share with you guys real quick. But here we go. I'll turn that drum off because I just layered guitar and drums. Now what I always do, I monitor it to see how the loop is, how seamlessly it is. Pretty seamless. So what I do, there's a little button here called Store. I hit it. The number flashes, and now it's stored. So now, before I add bass to this, I'm going to show you how you can take what I like about these loop pedals. I'm going to kind of create a song. That should be like one part of a rhythm in the song. So now I could go like this. Now I'm going to go to my next patch, which is empty. Hit this drum pattern again. Now, I'm testing this before I put it in the store button. Now, I'm going to store this. I'm going to show you guys something, what I like about this. As we all know, a lot of songs have an intro, a verse, and maybe a bridge, right? So now I just stored it. Now I'm going to hit my button down to go to the previous loop. Now watch this. Now we're back to loop number 1, or the first loop. This is how I create my songs here. Now I'm going to go to my bass patch, which is on here. So I just layered the bass, and I always monitor it to make sure I like it, you know. Now I'm gonna lock that in. Now I'm gonna go to my next loop. There's no bass there, right? So I have to add bass. So I'm just go ahead and lock that in. I feel pretty confident with it. That's locked in now. When it comes back to the patch number on the loop, that means it's stored. ST stands for store. It'll flash. Now watch this. Now back to the previous. There's the song. And now, see, this is what I mean, what you can do with all this stuff. And I know. But you gotta get the idea, you know. That's why I personally like these, is because what I'm able to do with this. Now, we all know that I typed in Digitech at NAMM 2019, and what came up was old Digitech from, you know, a few years back. So something's going on. So what we did is we got 4 of these. We always have backups, you know. And what's nice having 2 of these set up like this, when I did one of our Lanai shows, I took the guitar synth and I ran it into here, and then the output of this is going into here. So I got these 2 different loops. So I could I could lay down one type of loop here and then go to another loop and lay that loop there and just go back and forth without saving everything if I had to. So that's what I like about it. Now, when I posted up the video, excuse me, a couple of days ago, that live looping, that improv, it literally was right off the top of my head. And what I did was I was getting ready to do the sound check. So I hit the drum pattern here and I went to test to see how loud the drums were. And I figured, okay, then Mike said, all right, before we play, maybe if you want to do something. I says, okay, I'll go ahead and do something. So that's why the whole chord progression came out like it did. And I wasn't really planning it. And, but I kind of wanted to record that to show that sometimes when you're like right on that spot, because this is how people are in the gigging world, they'll put you on the spot, you know. Could you play an extra 15 minutes or an extra hour? We'll throw a couple more bucks your way. Okay, this is where you got to pull a rabbit out of your hat. And that's what all this comes into play. So that's why I personally like it. But yeah, when I was doing that improv, I was just doing C minor to a B flat minor. Oh, maybe it was a... No, I can't remember. Maybe it was A minor. No, a B minor. Yeah, it was B minor, B minor 7, A minor. And then I went to C major 7. And then just improv right off of that. It's really not that difficult if you know, for music theory, it always challenged me, those formulas. So how I got around it is I learned all my notes where they're located. And think about it, there's only 7 notes in your 5 variations. You have basically 12 notes you got to remember. And all they're doing is repeating themselves over and over and over and over again. But when you do your chord shapes, you're playing those notes. And you could just follow that chord shape and, you know, just come up with your melodies and build your solos off of that. If music theory and what key am I playing in, and is it a major scale, a minor, a Phrygian, a dorm, if all that confuses you, you could literally look at a chord progression, see what notes are within that chord if you're going up and down the neck, and then use that. You won't be out of pitch, you won't be out of key, because it's the same notes within that chord. I hope that makes sense, because that's how I had to get around everything, you know. But you see, this, you know, we didn't have stuff like this 10 years ago, 20 years ago, even 30 years ago, especially back in the day. And like you blues artists, I know Ed was talking about when people say, I'm not really a blues player, it's because, yeah, maybe they're into shred or gent. Yeah, yeah, basically you're right there, you know. But I would hear people compare blues artists and the older tube amps, and you see blues artists, blues musicians, they only use this and they only use that. Well, yeah, you get a good tone, but your true blues artists, I'm talking about the ones that didn't get the chance to make it until later on in life, and all of a sudden Alligator Records gives them a deal and they go in the studio with what they got. I'm going to tell you something, half of these guys, they would take those PV guitars. PV had a guitar kind of shaped almost like a V or like a razor blade or something weird. And I remember seeing an old black bluesman playing that guitar. And the reason being, he bought it at the pawn shop, and he bought an old PV Bandit 65 because that's all he could afford. And some of them, even before that, had even cheaper gear. It's not that they were chasing tone. It's just that they couldn't afford anything because nobody wanted to give them a job. Nobody wanted to help them out. So they had to make do with what they could get. And boy, I'll tell you what, they sure in hell made good at what they did. You know, I remember back in the day looking at the Trading Times paper. And we would have that in Chicago. I'm sure it was all over. But in Chicago, we had the Trading Times paper. And that's when it was free. And I remember like 1981, 1982, you could buy a used Fender Twin in really good condition for $285. And the reason being is all this digital stuff was coming out, and it was just pushing aside all the analog. So everybody wanted rack mounts. if you had a rack mount gear, you were somebody, and boy, what an honor it would be for me to be your friend. You know what I mean? So all that tube stuff and that analog stuff, that's old, that's garbage. Pew, get rid of it, you know? So it'd be in the trading times. Dirt cheap. Now, when I bought my Fender Twin, it was 1984, and I think I paid, I don't know, for it. I took my Flying V and I did a straight trade. And I had two Altec Lansing speakers in it. It was a silver face twin. Oh, thanks, guys. Hey, you know what? Again, I'm looking at the chat and it's all upside down. Yeah. So if Sean Zimmerman, everyone, if I'm pronouncing your name, I'm actually reading the chat, and instead of the chat being here, the chat is over here, and it's upside down. But yeah, so you see what I mean? Everything was different, and you know that's all they could afford. But you see, then all these amps were dirt cheap, and then now they're worth tons and tons of money. So the gear is only like a painter, you know, an artist drawing pictures and painting, using colors and whatever they want to use. Sure, yeah, it does help, but that cannot be the focal point. The focal point's got to be your ideas, your creativity, what you could do with everything. Because I think that's the problem. That's the problem with some of the modeling apps. Here's the catch-22 with the modeling gear, and that's basically what that is. If you're in any type of a tribute band or a cover band that wants to do everything identical, like right off the album, this does come in handy because you'll get real close to it. And of course, the more money you spend, the better it's going to sound to the original, you know? So that's, and then also if you're doing a lot of shows, you don't have to drag 3 Marshall stacks, 2 Fender, you know, twins, a Mesa Boogie, and all this other crap. Do you really like and use the drop pedal? You know what I do, and there's only certain things, but there's a little trick to this drop pedal. The lighter gauge strings you use, and the deeper you drop the tone, it starts to wobble. So if you got, you know, nice thick strings and you take it all the way down, yeah, it'll sound really good. But if you're playing to the point where you can hear the notes, see how I'm playing the guitar, how you can hear the guitar? What happens is, and if you're real low, you're hearing the drop tune come out of the amp, but your right ear is going to hear the natural tune. So it sounds like your playing is off. It's like you're harmonizing in different keys. It sounds kind of weird. It takes time to get used to. But I'll tell you what, that drop pedal, when you take it all the way down to the octave, I ran my nylon string guitar through there to try to simulate the bass. See, I get the bass sound pretty good, you know. So, and again, I mean, actually, you could feel it. That's what I like about this. When I don't take the guitar synth out, that's why I'll rely on this. That'll do pretty close to it. But yeah, you can get really good close to like 7-string tuning and things of that nature. And it is better than trying to change your strings on a Floyd Rose system. Oh, that's crazy, you know. And I'm not really into always doing that. So that really does help. But you know what? That'll take any line level, any line source to drop. So even if you have a keyboard, I haven't done this yet. In theory, I mean, I could be wrong. But we do have a keyboard. I could run it through there and see how it drops, the tuning, bass guitar, how it, you know, drops. It might be tailored for the mid-range section for guitar. But yeah, it does work pretty good. But this is what I mean. If you're a creative person, this is what you can do with all this stuff, you know. And again, I'm not knocking any other gear out there. If it was junk, they could not legally sell it to you. If it was, that means it's dangerous. That means you go to plug it in and you're gonna fry. You know what I mean? It's got no ground. There's nothing. Something's wrong with it. You know, you're gonna kill yourself. Now we're talking absolute junk. Or it just keeps flashing off, meaning, you know, you lose your signal. Now we're talking about junk. You know. But other than that, your tone, it's really what you make of it. And I don't care. You know, you got the fractal system out there, the head rush, the helix. Now, if I'm going to drop $1,500 and the only 2 sounds I'm going to get that I'm looking for is a Marshall amp sound and a Fender amp sound, and if that's the only thing I want out of the thing, I'm not gonna buy the Helix. I'll go out and I'll buy the Marshall. I think I'll buy the Origin, and then maybe a Fender Bluetooth and just AB box, and boom, there I'm good to go. I do like the newer Plexi that they got out, but it's a little bit too expensive, and I never liked the fact you had the jumper from one input to the other because I had the Super Lead 100 212 combo back in the day, and I got rid of it like a dummy. But that's a different story for a different time. But you have to jumper, and if that little patch cord goes bad, because the amp would get real hot, because it's all tubes, even though it's vented, it would still get hot. And then the wire and the little jumper cord gets bad. Now, you're getting problems. That's what I like about the Origin series. You get a foot switch with it. You could use that tilt knob. You got 50 watts. If you want to use it, because I have a 412 cab, I could get the head. But I do like the combo because it's easy in, easy out. But I mean, so if I'm only looking for a Fender and a Marshall sound, I'll just grab those. The effects is nice. But you see, this is what I mean. $150 you get this brand new now, I'm pretty sure. Or $199. I think I paid $199, but Craig, Amazon, you might get $150. But that's a hell of a lot cheaper than $1,500. And again, I'm not knocking any of those higher end units. But it just seemed really laughable. I could go out and do an entire gig with this. That's why I would never trade this in. You could give me 100 of those. They're not going to get this. Now, I won't trade it in because I know what I could do with it. That's what I mean. You got to use it for what works for you. So, okay. So this is what I'm going to do with the camera. So yeah, I mean, see, it's not a bad setup. Right now, I think you could get this for $250, or maybe $200. So two of these, you're looking at $400 right there, $150, $550. You add in another $34, I think, for this, and not that's what, 200, and then the silver pedal was 200. But just this right here, I'm telling you, you could do an entire show. And you don't need the SD card, but you can expand on it with the SD card. So, and we all know what's happening out there in the gigging world for those who gig. And I love playing in bands, don't get me wrong. But then no one wants to pay a full band. And if you do road shows, you got to make sure your schedule is bam, right there, man. Because you're out and somebody else is in. That's how fast, you could lose that gig. But anyways, I hope it was a good chat for everybody, and yeah, have a good one, old man Dan. Yeah, you guys, I see everything's upside down. Thrash metal riffs, what's happening? What is happening, my friend? Yeah, I guess I missed most of the show watching, and that's no problem, man. I'm all for everyone supporting everyone else's channels. I really am, and I think it's a great thing. The only thing I don't like is when I see, and I have to agree with Judd Lofthouse. I think he got something happened, and someone's like trying to bash him, and that's not cool. Judd, you're always welcome here, man. And then phones and guitar only, yeah, you guys are always welcome here. I don't understand these people that want to devalue. And you know what they do? They put. Okay, guys, I'm live. There we go. See, now we're back. I'm wondering if that went upside down. Yeah, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I like to help support everyone, and when I see these people devaluing everyone out there, it's like, are you kidding? It's only YouTube. But you see, it stays up there. Now, Ben Coombs he was at NAMM, and he put up a video, with Michael Anthony, and this picture is actually me with Michael Anthony down in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I mean, I'm not trying to brag or anything, guys. I got really nothing to brag about, but it's just the credibility. Of course, my cord's not. But yeah, that's Michael Anthony. And I didn't even know he was there. He was down there. I was playing poolside at the Malaya San Lucas Hotel, and we went down there with 13 of our friends, and it was for Sammy Hagar's birthday bash and all that, and so. Our friend said, "Hey, Dave, Michael Anthony from Van Halen is in the pool. He's watching you play." I'm like, well, that's cool. So we were talking, and he said, "Yeah, you got some good chops and all that." And, but I don't let it get to my head because, see, Does Michael Anthony call me on a regular basis? No, because he's got to worry about him. But I'm going to tell you what happened, though. A guy goes up to him, and this is what I mean by riding coattails, and some of these stars, they could sense this, you know. So there was a guy that went up to Michael Anthony and says, "Hey man, I got this band, and you think you could help me out?" And blah blah blah, this and all this other stuff. And Michael said, "Hey, you know my daughter plays in the band, and I can't even help her out." So this is what I mean. You know, you have to make your own destiny. You can't really rely on other people. And I'm not saying that's what Ben Coombs did. Ben Coombs, he put that video up because he wanted to show that, you know, Michael's a down to earth guy, and he really is. You know, so that's not the whole point of that story. But just yeah, he was a really cool guy. You know, and you get a lot of these people that are, you know, super cool. And the only NAMM show that I was at was 1989, when they still had it in Chicago, Illinois, at the oh McCormick Place. Yeah, at the McCormick Place. Yeah, Ed, yeah, he's cool. And I want to see something real quick before I go into that. Yeah, Rick Roland. Personally, I'm trying to get down to 300 subs again. Went from 329 to 326 this week alone. Yeah, you see, Rick, you know, these people, they're going to come and go. And you know what? To be honest, sometimes you get on a channel and you find out, well, that's not really for me, and I need to clear my phone. Or sometimes the phone will updates. Like my phone updates, the next thing you know, something happened, and I'm like, I don't see. I thought I was subscribed to this person, so I have to hit the subscribe again to make sure. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but yeah, sometimes this happens. You know what I mean? So I don't ever take things personal like that. But you know, they'll always go up and down. You know, but some of these people, that's what they think. They that's how they value people, or they value it like this. Maybe you had to go back to work because you're not good enough a musician, or maybe you're not good enough this. No, it's the whole platform out there is underwater, and only a fool is going to beat a dead horse to see if that dead horse is going to come back to life. You still have bills to pay. You still have life you live in. I mean, that's how it is. But some of these people, for whatever reason, that's how they value people. And that's why I don't really get on these super chat channels. You know, the one that's got like, you know, 999 million subscribers. And then I don't really get on those. I used to, you know, get on there and see what's happening, and, you know, think that's cool. And all right, you know, you meet new people and that. But then you start seeing something that you really don't like. And that's when I just say, okay, I'm out of here. Because, and the content's the same thing. It's nothing, I'm not going to learn anything, you know. It's one thing if you're not going to learn anything, but when you say hi to some of these people and they purposely, I mean, it's so blatant that other people would say, hey, let's give out shouts out to this person to help each other out. You know, like I appreciate when Rick said, you know, at the end of one of my videos, he said, yeah, I like Dave Byron. And Rick, I really appreciate that. And R2R3 gave me, you know, a good shout out, you know, and Jason Wade and Guitar Hack and that. You know, I'm not asking for people to praise me or anything like that. No, no. But it's the devaluation I would see. And it doesn't really bother me because, see, what happens, everyone else sees that. And I like it when it's these big channels and they got 1 million subscribers. So that means 1 million people get to see who these people are. And if they're going to do this on the intent of going to a trade show to sneak in and get on the coattails of a company for that company to sponsor them. And I'm not saying that's not a bad idea. You know, for people, that's how business is ran. That is called making connections. So that's not riding coattails. What I mean is the people that do this and they're your friend until someone else has got something bigger and better, then they're not your friend, they're that person's friend. Oh, and then we're going to go over here. Smart people in business see this. And smart people will say, this person's a flip-flopper, and if they're going to do that to that person, they're going to do it to me. So why would I want to use that person to represent my company? I could do it myself. And another thing you don't think about is just because you're playing a guitar and let's say you're down to 200 subs, you went down. See, then they see you going down. That's what they like. They like to see people go down because it boosts up their ego or whatever the case. This is the bad people. This is not the good people. What they don't realize is that same person they devalue might be on the brink of having something for the guitar community, and they might make a product, and next thing you know, they're at NAMM and they're all over YouTube. And you could forgive a person, but you will not forget their actions. So here comes old Joe Schmo again that devalued you in front of everybody and wanted to make you look small and throw you under the bus and that. Now you come up with a product that everybody's like, wow, that's a brilliant idea. Now here comes Joe Schmo again. Hey, that's a great idea. And yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. What happens with smart people, they're not going to devalue that person. That person maybe wants to come around and say, I'm sorry, whatever. That's fine. But a smart person is not going to trust that person because that's who they really are. Especially when you do it over a long course of time. Video after video, you see them throwing people under the bus and not saying hi, whatever the case might be. They're not going to want to use that person. So really, the people that they hurt is themselves in the long run. And that's why I don't like mentioning names. Because that same person that's acting bad, I really do believe everyone should have a shot at redemption. But they also have to remember, just like a person that gets out of jail, they have to remember it's going to take a long time to build up your good deeds, your good person, because people are going to remember that. And I'm trying to get this camera. I don't want to feel like I'm looking down on people. Just I got this on the stand and my cord. I keep my phone plugged in. You know? But anyways, guys, let's see. I didn't mean to go blabbing off too long. And you know what? Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and there's things that I do that maybe people don't like, and you're always welcome to your opinion. You know, that doesn't bother me because it just shows that you're being real, you're being honest. It's the people, the phony blonies. Those are the people that it's like, you know, it's so blatant you can see it, and I just hope the best. I hope the best for them, you know. But let's see, I'm behind in my chats here. Yeah, Suave Trainwreck. Yeah, see, I like, you know what I like about you, Suave? You know, you and Ed and you guys just tell like as you're old school. And I'm not saying that the other people don't. You have that different style. You're not trying to be, you know, please everybody. See, those are called politicians, you know. This is who you are, and, you know, you're not trying to insult people or anything like that, but these are your beliefs, and you're 100% entitled to have your beliefs, and you kind of like, you know, you tell it's straight shooters. I like straight shooters. Yeah, you know what? I know what you're saying, Suave. The less subs you have, the more you're loved. Yeah, and then maybe, you know. And again, there's certain content that certain videos people say, well, I don't like the topic you're talking about, Dave. So, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna jump in on this chat. Or I'm not into jazz fusion. I like when you rock out. Or I'm not into shred. I like when you play the classical. That's fine because there's something really, you know, for everybody. I personally like the styles that I play and the topics I talk about. It's only because of the situations I've actually been through. You know, so it's really just to share the ideas. Hey, and if I'm proven wrong, I'll get on and apologize, you know, to people, you know. 'Cause I'm not a know-it-all at all. I only know what I've gone through in life, you know. And I do know that the guitar and the whammy bar and the coated strings and the looping, all this other, this stuff never did anything to people. It's the people in the industry that they try to pull you aside so they can get in line first and all this other crap, and then in the long run they're gonna drop dead just like well, you know what I mean? We all got bills to pay. So that's all. That's all that is. And let's see. Oh, Avantgarde, how are you doing, man? Sorry, answer the door. Food was it? Yeah, you know what? I know I'm getting people joining just before I'm getting ready to, you know. All of a sudden, boom, they will be back. YouTube reports. Yeah, that's funny. You know what? You're right, Ed. And another thing is, see, I get these updates. You know, you want to update your phone. Or it'll do it by itself. And I didn't ask for it. Like the volume. The internal volume, it'll be one way I'll have it set. Then all of a sudden, we do not want to see you lose your hearing. Then boom, the volume drops. And then when people talk stuff on YouTube, I got to put the headphones on and really crank it because I can't hear what they're trying to say. Because YouTube or the phone provider, whoever's doing this, they decide that your ears. We don't want to blow your eardrums out. Okay. We'll decide for you. No, you don't need this person as a friend. See, it's like almost like Big Brother, you know. I really don't like that, you know. I can see if someone's being, you know, trying to jam pornography down you, then I gotta say bye. You know, I'm around kids the most of the day, and when I teach, when I do teach in young kids, I don't want my name associated with any of that stuff. You know, so I had to say bye to all that. You know, I had a phone call that I thought it was a club owner, because sometimes they call you back on a different line. They never leave a message. I always tell them, leave a message. So I had to check my messages to see maybe my messages are full, and like, okay, I gotta start clearing this so people, when they call, you know, leave a message. So they didn't leave a message. So I figured, okay, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I call back, and the phone didn't really like ring. It just automatically it answered, and I thought, okay, there's a girl on the other end. And I thought, oh, she's talking with somebody, and she'll get on and she'll say, okay, hello, this is so and so. What can I do for you? Blah blah blah. Thinking that's a club owner about a gig. No, the conversation is, I had. This is what the girl said. I had the most wonderful time yesterday, and I'm still wet over this. And I'm on the school grounds, man. I'm like, hang up. Well, not really the school grounds, but by the bus company, but it's separated by the school. So I'm in my car, and I'm hearing this, instantly hung up. And then when I got home, I just stepped. She helps me with whatever I don't understand. I played her. I said, look at this. And I told her what happened. And I says, hey, I said, Deb, how do I clear this? How do I block this? And I had to block it, you know. And if it's someone playing a joke, you know, just goofing off, you got to remember, I'm around kids. I can't. I have to take it serious. I cannot have something that's inappropriate around me, man. No way. So whoever that was, they're blocked. And it's not, and I'm not trying to be mean or rude. It's just have common courtesy. That's all. Yeah. No worries at Jason Wayne. Bon appetit. Yep. Watchman for you. How you doing, man? Hello, Dave, and all you guitar pickers. Yep. Yeah, I know. You know what? You guys get whatever you guys miss. You could always hit the rerun, because you know what? I don't think I've ever taken down a video. Maybe one video that was an ad for I'll Be Live here. You know what I mean? But you know what? I like keeping my videos up, and so everyone could, if they miss something, they could check it out. And then for those trolls and for those fuddy-duddies, if I've ever mentioned their name in an insulting way, I want them to show me the video. And if their video's up, then yeah, of course I'll apologize. I mentioned a situation. See what happens is, when you got bad people, you mention a situation, and if they're guilty of doing that, they hit a panic button like almost instantly. You don't even have to mention their name. But in their mind, you've exposed them. And you didn't expose them. You exposed the situation. See, they will expose themselves. And then, of course, it's your fault, not their fault, and they're the ones doing it. But you see, that's how that works. And that's why, you know. Yeah, one thing is, if you keep your subs visible, you are actually supporting. If not, you keep your subs hid or make a custom feature channel to hide people. It doesn't help. Yeah. See, this whole thing I'm still trying to get used to. Yeah, it would, let's see, I would ride coattails if they didn't keep talking, taking their coats and leaving. Yeah, how about it, Suave? You know, I mentioned that, and I'm glad that you responded. I made a comment that they claim they care about the community until you say hi, and it's these super channels, you know. And you stay a while, and I always give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, there's a million people that's on, well, it's not really a million. They'll have a million subscribers. But have you ever noticed, if you've been tracking, you know, just happen to start thinking about, hey, you know what I noticed? They might be up to 90 people in their chat. And it's the same people on the last 20 chats, but yet they claim they got a million subscribers. Now, I don't know. I think at some point off of 20 chats, I would see new people, sorry I missed the last chat, or sorry for this and sorry that. I think, you know, they throw money at their channel, and I'm not knocking that, because that's how business is, you know. So That's your money. You do what you want. You have every right. And I would support a person doing that, because they're in business for something. Or that's their thing and they have the money and they want to do that and this is their platform, this is their money. 100% agree. It's not my money you're spending, it's theirs, right? But it's awfully strange when some of these people will use that as leverage to devalue somebody, throw them aside, kick them under the bus. Yeah, let's not mention his name because then someone might recognize him or something. You know what I mean? That whole thing. And it's so recognizable, so noticeable that I sit back when I see it, I kind of laugh. I think, I just wish that these people could step into the real world and maybe they'll be lucky if they got two friends because everything else is going to be acquaintances, you know? And I really think that maybe maybe they're really hurting. I don't know. I really don't know. But it's sad what I see, and the problem is other people are seeing it that don't even have guitar channels that had said to me, Dave, I checked it out based on your recommendation, and look what I'm seeing. Oh, and I try to always stick up for everybody. I said, well, maybe they didn't see the chat. Maybe they didn't see you say hi. They're busy, and maybe that only could go for so long. And then when they start compiling up 20 chats or whatever, and it's the same thing after 20 chats, I said hi, and I've said, so and so is this is their area of expertise, and I have a little bit of knowledge or experience in their expertise, and I made a mention, and it's like crickets, like I'm dead to them or something, and that's the complaint that I hear, and I'm not. I could care less. They could hate me all they want. I really don't care. Um, and I care about my subscribers because my subscribers are human beings. You guys are my friends. So I would never be the type of person to say, I only have, I don't know, I'm at 380 or something like that. I only have 380. And like, that means you people don't matter because I need to get more. You people do matter. If you got 2 subscribers, that's 2 people that's taking time out of their day to watch you spew out whatever you need to spew out or share whatever it is you share. And the more subscribers you get, the more it is hard to make mention of names and that. But I'll tell you what, I value everybody, man. I'm not one of these. I'm not a phony person. This is the only way in life I know. So it's called real life, and that's the only way I've ever had to. And when I would say in my past chats that I've been a counterpuncher, it's only because people would always try to suppress me. That's what I would mention about the growth chokers. you know. And when I see pictures like this, it's not to brag. Well, who am I to brag? And compared to this, compared to where he's at in the status, I'm a nobody, and that's the reality in their eyes. So I've had people say, "Well, what makes you tick? What makes you keep going?" I love to play. To me, and only to me, it's a gift from God. I don't put my religious beliefs on other people, and I'm very, very fortunate, and I feel very blessed. But I love what I do, and I go play in a place if it's empty. They give me there 2 hours. Dave, you're here 2 hours. No one's there. I'm there 2 hours. This guy's gonna pay me, or if he can't pay me, the agreement is I'll be there 2 hours, and I'm gonna put on a show as best I can for that. If I'm not feeling under the weather or anything like that, because I truly love to play. And to me, that shows if a person is real or not. Not if like, oh, there's the camera, I gotta smile at the camera and wave. Well, you want to be polite, but if that's all you're doing, then you're in the wrong business. They're in the wrong business. But to each their own, right? Yeah, Chuck Boots, what's happening, man? Let's see. Hey, everyone, just got done with a long night on. Oh, I hear you, man. I hear you. You know what? The body needs rest, man. We're not superhuman. We're human. That's everybody. I feel bad for the the firefighters. Yeah, definitely. But these people are veterans, and man, God, they'd be out there, and in wartime, they don't get time to sleep, you know. Sleep with one eye open, and you gotta always be awake. I had to get on here. Well, hey, thanks. You know what? I appreciate that, Chuck. The wisdom, if you want to call it wisdom, it's life's experiences there, and The only reason why some of my videos, just like people say, well, that person's repeating the same thing. I guess I'm repeating the same thing over and over again, you know. But what it is that um, the experiences that I've had, if there's somebody that's want to follow in the same path that I took, and I don't share with them the situations that have happened to me or almost happened to me, and they might not happen to that person, but if I don't forewarn a person about that and it happens, I would feel so bad if they were to say to me, Dave, you knew about this and you didn't tell me, man. You know, I looked up to you, or I did this on your recommendation, or whatever, and you didn't even tell me. You painted a pretty picture with fuzzy bunnies and rainbows and everyone's smiling, you know, the old Walmart bags, everyone's smiling, you know. But that's not how life really is, and especially in a business that is so biased that they and such so cutthroat, and the income fluctuates. It's constantly like this. You know, I would do such an injustice, and I wouldn't blame them for being pissed at me if I didn't at least say something. It's not to be negative. It's to say, hey, be careful out there. That's all. But some people look at it like I'm being negative, and you know that's fine. You know, not everyone, not all you guys, but I know there's people out there. Let's see. I bought that. I thought that was reverb shirt. Oh, you know what this is? Let me show you guys. This shirt is called Relay for Life. It was a fundraiser we did last year. We're gonna do another. It's for cancer, and they do track, and they'll do like walk around and that. And when we did this gig, the video is up there. Was it last April? I think it was. And we were in one of the parks, and you know, you start. Some people are there, some people are not, but they'll walk around, and I just think it's a great thing because you know I dodged a bullet this year with cancer. I didn't get it, but every 3 years I had to go for the checkup because my sister passed from colon cancer, and it runs like very heavily in my family. So every 3 years I had to go for that check. Now the doctor says, hey, you're clean, no polyps, you're good. Now you just every 5 years. So I kind of watch what I eat. And so that's why we talk about, we do have merchandise. We do have t-shirts. Joe Winch helped us set up. It's real similar to the artwork that Joe's got. So, you know, there's a percentage that goes to the store that houses all this and prints up. They get the percentage. So, but the percentage that we get, we want to start donating that to um, St. Jude. Because, see, the kids, it's bad for an adult to get cancer. You know, it's bad enough. But when you see kids that they haven't had a start in their life, and all of a sudden they're laying in a hospital bed, and there's mom and dad. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? You know, just them being in a hospital bed. No parent wants to see that. Then here comes the bills. Yes, the doctor bills. Oh, forgot about that. You know, so that's why I like to see those sales of these shirts. And you could just like anyone else, you could get like a guitar hat. You could get a cup, a hat. I would like to get pacifiers done for the trolls and the crybabies, but maybe I shouldn't say that. But the money that would come to me, I'd like to see it go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital for cancer research, um, because their young lives, they're not even getting a chance. The ones that unfortunately pass. That's unfortunate. So yeah, but you got to read between the lines and call us. You got that right, thrash metal, and that's what I like about Detroit Wrecker and Suave Trainwreck and Dana and a lot of the guys that are straight shooters. And I'm not saying anything bad about anyone. The people that don't mention it, it's not that they're afraid. They want to stay away from it. But they're still straight shooters in their own rights. But I guess we'd be called the counterpunchers, the people that try to give us crap and we don't take it and we tell like it is, and if they don't like it, that's their problem. And I don't ever want to, I'm not a tough guy at all. I mean, I get my ass beat in a heartbeat. A girl will kick my butt. And I'm not a know-it-all, but there comes a point in life where you just get so sick of being pushed aside and being devalued, and you only stand up when it's needed to be, when you need to make that stand. And I've done it in person. We didn't duke it out or anything, but a great, disappointment. And I flat out said to a couple of people in person, That no, you're not going to devalue me. You're not going to devaluate the music scene. You're not going to treat people like crap and tell me that I have to go through this, that, and the other. Because if that's the case, I go to the next town and take my business to the next town, and then you'll see me drive through town, and I'll, the gas station, and for the locals, I'll support the locals. But when the locals go to these functions that the city runs, because the city wants to suck money out of them, that's when I don't support them. That's when I don't support. I'll support those local businesses. But I know what goes on with that money because we've done the research. So I know where everything is going. And it goes in the pockets of the people that are the growth chokers, the opportunity killers, all those people, and they stick it in their pocket, and then they turn around and they complain that, well, we don't have a street light here, or this tree needs to be trimmed, we can't see the street sign, or we need to fix this. Well, stop sticking the money in your pocket and put it where it really belongs, and stop doing this and start doing. You see, that's what I mean. And you'll be surprised. These people that run these festivals, Now, I can only speak down here, what I've seen. And that's why I say bye. And then they turn around and they'll tell you, they make you feel like, see, they're not good enough. They didn't get on the stage for this festival. They're really not that good enough. They actually make people think that. They want to devalue that person. But they do it to smart people, and smart people walk away and they start seeing. And then the attendance at the festivals go down. Because you can only screw people over for so long. Even if that person's been doing it, getting away with it for 20 years. 20 years of screwing people over, 20 years of ha, you're not going to make a difference. You could stand up and say and complain all you want. You're not going to make a difference. The sands of the hourglass always run out, and that's when they have the fall. And guess what? They build up 20 years of screwing people over. So they got 20 years that they got to do damage control. And next thing you know, nobody will trust them again. So guess what? They got to move from one town to the next and open up shop in the next town and hope no one recognizes them. So that's what I mean. And I've seen it over and over again. So that's what I mean. Straight shooter. Just tell them I could care less if they want to, block me out of this function or that function. I don't need that function. Because if that's what I got to do and that's what I go through, it's not worth it. You could be chasing money. Not only chasing money, but your reputation gets tainted because now you're just associated with someone that's a con artist and a ripoff. I can't really mention any names, and I wouldn't just to be fair. But if I wanted to, I could drop names, and people down here will say, "Oh yeah, that person. Oh yeah, this person." Dave, at least you got the backbone enough to stand up for him. And I'm not. Trust me. I take a lot of chances in a lot of situations where I could just, maybe they'll feed me to the alligators. They'll pull my carcass out of the belly of an alligator. I don't know. So I know I gotta watch things, but I'll just stand up and I'll just make that stand because to me it's worth it. If it can help someone avoid a bunch of trouble and a bunch of crap, that's where it's worth it. I'm not looking to get my name in stone or anything. I can't believe some of the things I've seen. And it's like that's why I just boom, in person. I don't even like doing over the phone. I like to meet with that person. Let's sit down and talk one on one, face to face, and this is what's going on, and you got to fix this, otherwise you're gonna screw yourself over, and I'm out of here. I'm not gonna stick around for it. Yeah, but Dave, that's how we do it. Well, that's how you do it, and that's how you've been doing it. But you're not getting my money, so you lost. The guy I had to do this to, I hope he could turn around. I really do. Because I kind of feel bad for him. He's got a small music shop. And he's got some nice gear in there. Whether I want to buy it, I don't want to see small pawn shops go under. But this guy would run sound. It's so bad the locals don't like him. And this is the person I had the conversation with. And he's trying to devalue me, but he liked the video, but he's trying to devalue. He wants to set me up with another band, but he's trying to devalue me. He's trying to just tell me they. And I asked the simple question, who are they? Name names. If you don't want to name names, I can understand. But don't tell me the general public wouldn't like to see something that's kicking ass. Not everyone's going to like it. Not everyone's going to like Shred. But there's going to be a group of people that were, and they're going to that will, and they'll stand there, and they will support the other businesses by buying drinks and food. They might buy T-shirts. They might be buying some. They support. They financially support it. So why in the world would someone want to turn people away? It's better that they say, Dave, you're new down here, so we have to put you on the bottom of the list. No problem. I understand. Be fair about it. But don't sit there and tell me no one's going to like it, no one's going to be this, no one's going to be that. And then I leave his office and I walk through his showroom in his store. He's basically being, just shooting me down. He is not given an opportunity, and that I even told him I'll be the last in line. That's fine, just as long as I could get a shot. We could put it on the calendar. Let's see, March 1st of the year 2023. Are you doing anything March 1st of the year 2023? Look at your calendar. You got anything planned? Okay, so you give everyone down here a shot. I'll be the caboose. How's that? I'll play even while the janitor's sweeping the dirt. How's that? The groundskeeper's playing. How's that? No, we can't do it. No, we can't. That's fine. Why? Well, we can't do it. If you don't like what I'm doing, just be honest. They can't even be honest. So you see, so I leave his office and I'm thinking, if this clown thinks I'm going to buy a guitar pick or a ball end of a string, or my old Ibanezars, or my old Marshall Plexi with 212s he's got in it, he thinks I'm going to buy it from him. No way in hell. Because that money's going to go into his pocket. And what he just did was he devalued me to the point where I can't do business with this guy. All he had to do is be honest. I'll do it for whatever works for you. So if I could lay my cards on the table, why can't people like that? This is what I mean. And I know I talk about some of these stories, kind of, repeated stories, but this is the stuff people need to hear, because this is the other side of this industry that is existence, that when people start quitting their jobs, taking mortgage on their house, and they spend all this money they really don't have, and they got these bright ideas, and they get shot down, and now they passed the 30 days, they can't take it back to get their money back, they got to put it up on Craigslist for less than half of what they spent. They get their hearts broken to the point where they don't even want to even listen to music. That's how brokenhearted they are. And it isn't the guitar that did it, it's the people that run these functions that no one talks about. And then these people will go tell me, they, hey, I'm not a genius. I just, you know what? It's just experience. That's all it is, man. There's a lot of you people out there that got far more experiences than myself on certain areas, and even in this area, that I never thought of. That's what I mean. This whole platform is, use it to its advantage. Don't use it to its disadvantage. Because there's enough people out there doing that. But yeah, always be careful of these people, because that's their narrative. Devalue. That's what they should be. Oh, did you and Deb buy a new RV? No, Watchman, we didn't. We're all different, and again, Suave Train Wreck, boom. There's something for everybody. But yeah, Watchman, for you, the RV, no, we were looking, we were gonna buy a toy hauler, so the back could be the studio, and then that platform comes down, and then we could do gigs and things of that nature. But when we moved down here, we said, okay, we've done enough road shows for now. Let's just stick it out here and see what happens. And then, but in the future, we'd go to these trade shows just to see what improvements is happening out there, And when we're ready to buy, then we're gonna buy, But some of them, their prices are expensive, but then some of them they're not so expensive. You see, when you buy a fifth wheel, when I mentioned about dry weight, and I wasn't real clear about that, and I apologize. When I mean dry weight, that means as the trailer is, as that RV is, whether it's a travel trailer or a fifth wheel. So when it says dry weight, the capacity, let's say you buy a fifth wheel, the capacity is 6,500 pounds. That's dry weight. So all your clothing, even if you drain the tanks when you go across country, your guitars or whatever you could be putting in there, your food, that puts weight. shoes, everything, whatever. Everything puts weight. So when you go to buy a truck to pull the trailer or the fifth wheel, you want to tap in as much extra headroom as possible. And then my brother-in-law Danny, he said it. He said it great. If you start doing cross country shows, and we've gone through Colorado, you start going up those mountains and hills, and then like when you pass through Tennessee, when you start going up those hills, you could put a lot of strain on that engine. So you have to factor in. That's like adding extra weight. So Danny told me. Danny said that if you could have an extra 1,100 or 1,000 pound headroom, maybe between 700 and 1,100 pounds of extra headroom, just to accommodate if you go up and down these hills, you'll be all right. But some people, they see, oh, I have a truck that can pull 7,000 pounds, and my dry weight is 6,500 pounds. I'm good to go. They totally forgot about when they start loading up. Now you're just like you're almost at your equal amount of towing capacity, or you started to exceed it. Watch and see how much wear and tear you do on the engine on that. Oh yeah, Watchman. I'm trying catching on there. Yeah, I attached my phone to a sound bar. Yeah, my truck. Yeah, truck boost. Yep. I don't like coated strings on an acoustic. Electric, okay. Not acoustic. Electric, okay, but not acoustic unless using it through my amp. PA with pickup system. Yeah. You know, here's the thing. Oh, Yellow Ocean's an original songs. Good. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in, man. I know I'm getting ready to kind of wrap it up. I've been blabbing for a little bit. Um, I tried the coated strings. Kind of a good idea, but then, for that extra money, I like doing these experiments. And my experiments are no matter where you're at. In the summertime, you could be up in Canada. And if you got a hot summer day, you got a hot summer day. Take uncoated strings. And let's say you got a few days, you got a whole week where you're in the 90s, right? And your dew point is at 80 degrees. That's hot. So your humidity is it's like a sweat. You're sweating. So take a couple of days with the uncoated strings, and just even if you're playing outside in your yard, play, strum and jam, sweat, so you can see what's happening with those strings. And then mark it and see how long it takes, and then you want to put on some coated strings. Do the same thing. If the coated strings last maybe a day longer than the regular strings, so your coated strings last this much, but then the price is this much, I'd rather go with the uncoated strings because you could change them anyway. And that's what I used to do up at the Bristol Renaissance Fair because I'd be up there all day and it'd be hot up in Wisconsin. And I tried a couple of coated strings. I always date the packs. So when I change my strings, I date them. And I try to monitor. And if I got to spend an extra $5 to get another day's use out of strings, then I'm not going to spend the extra $5. I'll just buy another pack of strings, But that's just me. And I heard the pros and cons that some of these coated strings could wear out your frets. And I think my Fender Strat, the frets are getting a little bit worn, but it's a 96. But, honestly, I play every day unless I'm sick. But every day I'm playing. I do my drill exercises and that. And I have never done a refret job. Never. Well, Dave, maybe you got weak fingers, and maybe I put heavy strings on and hit them, pretty hard, and never had to do a refret job. So, going back to earlier, what Ed Dana was saying about you get these people, if that's what they want, that's fine. But then they tell you like it's locked in stone. You got to have a certain radius neck. You got to have this. No, you don't. The only thing in life you got to do is you got to pay taxes, and then you're gonna die. That's the only thing is. That's for sure. I hope that doesn't insult anybody, but that's how it is. Let's see. I'm turned off by scamming salespeople and trying to warn others when fake string. Yeah, exactly. Bringing people on, string people on, doing it for exactly. Thrash metal. I agree with you. I agree with you because you could clearly see what the narrative is. And again, that's up to them. But that doesn't have to involve me. And then they go around. Now I've seen people and they mention names and that's up to them. Okay, so I this isn't. The only reason why I don't mention names is that no one could turn around and say you said this, you said that. Now I got a business, and you know what? Now I got a whole crap load of money, and I want to take you down because you said this. See, now if it's up there, they can verify it. Now you know what I mean. But that's why I don't. I'll mention names of people that are doing good. That's why I think But that's up to each individual. Yeah, let's see. Maybe she needed help, and you could have helped her. So yeah. Ed, do you have that? Do you have that number, Dave? Ooh, you know what? Ed, I might have missed something here, and I will definitely check what you're looking for, and I will definitely give that number. Sorry, guys. Oh, Ed, I think. Oh, the number. If you mean like the number of subs, I think my subs are like 388 or something like that. You know. Um, and I appreciate every single one of them. Every single one of you guys that sub, even if you don't, you just check it out. I appreciate it. So again, I don't understand. Oh, now Ed, if you're also talking about the number of, let's say, pertaining to like on the dry weight on some of these RVs, yeah, you got to be careful. See, I'm sure a lot of you guys, you got my brother-in-law. I'm not really a big Ford person. I respect all the trucks. I like Chevys. I like Dodge. I like Ford. But one thing I can say about Ford is that they seem to have their trucks seem to be have a lot of muscle. When we moved down here, that RV or the U-Haul we rented was a Ford, and we had it packed. I mean, with gear, guitars, everything. And I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure we maxed out because we're going like this, and the guy at the hotel that we stayed at, he made a comment. Maybe it was at the gas station, we're refueling. He says, "Man, you guys are really loaded down." I could see, and that truck didn't give us any problems. And my brother-in-law Danny says, he's had Chevys. He likes his Chevys, but he pulls his boat, and he had a Chevy S. I think he had a 2500, and then he went back to his Ford F-150. That would be lower, but it just seems that his Ford could pull his boat better than his Chevy. And he said that's what I gotta watch out for because I'm not made of money. So this is the whole point. Let's see. Okay, guys, I'm trying to. Yeah, see, I'm trying to catch up, and I'm missing. Honesty is thrash metal. No rules. Number one, be genuine and not exactly delusional, and yeah, absolutely, and or deluded, exactly. Honesty is the best policy. Just be yourself. You're not going to please everybody. Again, that's what those politicians, they try to make promises and please everybody, and they fall short like big time. And I like to stay away from all that because uh, everyone's got their own thing. Yeah, thank you so much again for subscribing and checking it out. Michael B, it's always good to see you. Here's the thing. When we could do the hangouts. Yeah, oh yeah, Ed. We'll also, because I think you want to do a group hangout. And I'll see, just let me know the date. And let's say, even with Michael B, if we could do a little bit earlier or like on a weekend, because, right now, when school's in season, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I drive for the school district. And I'm real proud of saying that because how the music industry is. Down here, we had the situation with Red Tide, and it killed a lot of the businesses. And even though we do have Mike, my vocalist, he said something about you got the 6-monthers, they'll still come down. But see, the club owners are hitting a panic button, and now they don't want to pay the musicians, or they want to pay them very little. Not all of them, but some of them. So then the work kind of dries up, so you still have bills to pay. So that's one thing about driving. It's an easy job. So that's why I have to schedule where it's a little earlier. Um, oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, you too, Michael B. Yeah, we'll be going live tonight at we're playing 6 to 9, so we'll be going live tonight at Amvets, and I'm gonna pull up these tracks, and I'll give an announcement. You know whose track I'm pulling up. You know, YouTube guys, YouTube. There is a certain monitor that wants to block me all the time. Yeah, guys, when I can't find out about giving people those wrenches, see, I definitely there's a lot of you I want to give the wrenches. See, I'm so new to all this. I do everything off the phone, and I have to do it off the laptop. Joe Wentz has been helping big time, and so's Michael B. and everyone else that gives me any type of advice on check out. I appreciate it so much because I'm so stupid with this technology. You know, to me, it's knobs and etch a sketch. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get used to us. But yeah, Ephraim, what's happening? Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. And see if I put out, give you a shout out too, But yeah, Ed Dana, there's a certain moderator that wants to block me all the time, and I don't understand why. I think what happens, Ed, is that if you're a tell it like it is person, some of these people, it kind of irks them because they're guilty. Maybe they're guilty of something. I don't know. I could be wrong. But maybe they're guilty of something and they feel exposed. And you don't even have to mention their name. All of a sudden, you're the bad guy. You're like, wait a minute. I'll tell you what, guys. I started noticing this when the last hurricane, not Hurricane Irma, but the last hurricane came up, and I was on one of the chats. And I just happened to say, hey, guys, I just want to, say hi to everyone, everything, and give our thoughts and prayers to Joe Wentz, the Joe Wentz Project, because the hurricanes, it hit my cousin's house up in Lynn Haven, Florida, and it was going up to the Carolinas. And I thought, hope is, he dodges a bullet in that. To me, everyone's friends, right? So I noticed ever since I mentioned that, only a few people in this particular chat acknowledge it, and then the rest, everyone's like silence, And then ever since then, some of these people was like they ignored me or something, like I said something bad, and I'm thinking, what's going on? Joe, I never seen Joe say anything bad about anybody. He's a good guy, It's like people will pick and choose who they want to be friends with, and that's fine, but just don't devalue people. But you see, that's when I started noticing that. So the combination of why I removed myself from some of the chats is that, number one, school got in session and I didn't have all day to play on the phone. This is how it is. I cannot be on the phone when I'm driving. Number two is that I started noticing this, and I thought, I'm going to kind of pull back because, let these people, do what they want to do. I'm not going to impose myself on people or anything like that. And I started noticing that, so it's like, okay. And that's why sometimes you see the thumbs down. Now, some of the thumbs down on my videos, it's from people that actually live down here. They wanted to put a band together with me, but there was no results. They wanted to practice 8 days a week with nothing lined up and have me run around and gas in the car, money, and no results. And then they got real belligerent with me. I told them, I said, I can't afford to do this. I can't call in sick on my gigs because my Fridays are all taken up. And they got mad. Well, I'm sorry, these people have been good to me, and I want to honor them because they've been good to me. Everything else was an empty pipe dream promise, and I don't pay bills on empty pipe dream. Nobody does. So I removed myself. I said I couldn't, and they got mad, and now they're blocking me, leaving dirty messages on my phone. I'm like, really? So that's part of that. But the other part is some of these people on YouTube. Not everyone, not everyone, but they know who they are, and I'm not gonna hold it against them, but I'm just not gonna forget, and they could say what they want, do what they want, but you know what? If they claim I have ever mentioned them by name, and I said something bad, I want them to show the video. I will apologize, but they gotta show me the video. No, if they can't show me the video, I can't apologize. Sorry, can't do it, because I know I'm not trying to bash people. So that's why. And I don't mean to bring up negativity, but it's not being negative. It's factual. Yeah, So, but everyone that's on here, it's none of you guys or gals. No, you're all good people. And for the people that, again, if there's a certain video they don't like I'm playing, doesn't mean that they're being mean. It's not for them, you know. It's the ones that you know that they're doing. Just like Ed said, you know, they're constantly a moderator and they're blocking me, and you know, and it's even some of these people with these. Sorry, guys. Yeah. A lot of them, they're in a room, and you know, and I give them credit. I give them respect. You know, they're doing a review or they're just talking or whatever, and they'll devalue. And it's like, okay. And I think they've let the success of all their subs, and a lot of them they're bought. They paid to get their channel up there. I'm not knocking it, but they're making a mistake by letting that success get to their head, and it's a lot of it is not organic. Um, those are the one, and I'm talking. They got these super channels, and they are concerned, and they only value you if you have X amount of subscribers. If you don't, they think right away something wrong. They don't even look at, I mean, common sense. Is there good content there? I mean, you know what I mean? So those are the people I just kind of remove myself because they have their little clique world, and hey, that's fine. More power to them, you know? But it's when they want to try to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm out there gigging. Yeah, I see you're abusing that Digitech, or you made a mistake here, or you're this, or you're that. Well, where is all your content? Where is all your experience? How come I don't see it? It's a lot of words, but no action. So I put my pants on one leg at a time, and I'm not perfect. Of course I make mistakes. But I leave it up there even when there's an empty room and no one's paying attention, because I want people to see how it really is. I am not going to try to sell a person an empty pipe dream so that I could get in with whatever company, and you know, I could kiss their rear end and ride their coattail, and I'm all of a sudden their hero because I said something wonderful about them. No, this is how life really is. Before you quit your job and spend your money, I want you to see how it is. Then you decide, you know. But see, they don't like when I say that because it exposes the truth, and hey, maybe they can't handle it. I don't know. You know, or maybe they just don't like it. And if that's fine, and if they're respectful, I don't take it personal. But it's, you know what I mean? I have thought about that, but yeah, let's see. I want to see some. I have thought about. Let's see. I'm sorry. Yeah, I've been using my notebook piece. Oh yeah. Yeah, some mods want to block people for exactly self promotion only, and these are funny. Okay, self promotion only, and let's see, they can self promote, which is supposed to help earn subs for the channel. How exactly? Exactly. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing a self promotion. Any one of these people, I would be lying to you if I, at some point in my channel, of course, I want to spotlight and show my talent and share my experiences. Of course, I'd be lying to everyone if I said, nope, I'm not in it for that. Nope. Of course, then you wouldn't even have a channel. At some point, you wouldn't, right? But more important than that is to share the experiences so that other people won't have to go through this crap. And I take a lot of chances, and I realize that in the industry. Maybe they watched me block Dave Byron. Don't let him in the gate because he's going to expose everything we're doing. We don't want that. And fine, whatever, you know. Not all these people are bad people either. You got a lot of good people in the industry. And it's sad that they have to take the brunt of the crap that goes on. But it's the crappy people that run loose, and they do all this, that, and the other. And so that's what I mean. I don't mention names. They can never accuse me of mentioning a name. I said that this person did this, and this person is an a-hole, or that person did this, and they're trying to squeeze me, and they don't want to let me in the door, or whatever. No, I'm not mentioning any names. They're going to do it themselves, you know, and it's so obvious, you know. So that's what I mean. That's why I do the things I do, and, you know, hope for the best. I don't want to say expect the worst, but I live in a real world. I don't live in fantasy land, you know. So anyways, guys, I really appreciate you guys sticking around and listening to some of my crap. You know, I just again I just appreciate everyone, and yeah, do what works for you, and always be true. You know, people can sense that, and we always try to support each other. We want to see this we want to see the guitar community grow, and we want to see it just not just survive, but grow, survive and thrive. You know. Oh, thank you so much, Chuck and Dale and Ed Dana and Janice, Lala, and Sonia. If you were able to pop in, R2R3, Ed Dana, Joe Wins Project, Michael B. I really appreciate Jason Wade. I mean, all of you guys. Oceans, Jimmy T, Brent McCord. What's that? All you Guitar Hack. You rock. I love your videos, man. You know, it's good good hangout in that. Um, and you know what? You guys are always welcome here. But we will be going live tonight. If you guys could make it. If not, it stays up. And you know what? There's certain things you're not gonna like. That's fine. I want people to be honest. You know. And hopefully we don't make any mistakes. But I will announce when I'm putting these songs up for tonight's play. So all right. Till tonight, my friends. Until next video. You guys rock. Have a great rest of the day. Enjoy Super Bowl. Too bad the Bears not in it, but hey, that's a different story for a different time. Maybe the Cubbies will do something, huh? Anyways, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. God bless you guys. And as always, rock on. God bless. So long.